So a lot of people out there might feel limited, like they can't succeed, afraid that they'll never have life experiences and things of that nature. And I think the reality is that a lot of people's identities were formed on social media, and so because the sequence was interrupted, you might find it difficult to form an identity now. Like it's hard to decide who you are. I'm have the benefit of having grown up a little bit before social media and formed some burgeoning identity before it, and I have childhood trauma and all this stuff that makes it hard. But key is your mindset. You need to just, I know it's super hard, anxiety inducing. You feel like it's like an illness and you can't do it, but you have to just let go and you have to just try and you have to be willing to fail. Take those risks and let yourself fail if necessary. Do the awkward stuff and say the things that you want to say, even if you know with 100% certainty in your mind that you're going to fail, because you might not. And even if you have to do that 10 or 100 times, keep trying and go through the heartache and make the friend or the girlfriend or the boyfriend, whatever, that sucks. And go through that because that's life and that's experience and you grow from it. That's the thing. Even if it sucks, even if it's awful and painful and it's not for you, it's not aligned, that's how you figure out what is aligned. That's how you develop an intuition. That's how you develop um, experience in life. Is you have to try. And so, yeah, I think we have a whole generation of people that are stuck on their phones, you know, watching videos like this that just they're not you're not out there just existing and doing stuff out in the world. And I can tell you from like my life that like I was one of the poorest people in my country. I lived in one of the poorest places in my country. I have like, let's see, I'm trying to think. Can I count all of them? Like six major, major things working against me horribly that like I shouldn't be able to do anything, you know, like I could totally just be, could probably, you know, even in my country, which doesn't have good social services, like we're like anti-social services for some reason. We're like, we call it welfare and we look at it like it's an evil thing. Um, I could probably apply for disability and just give up, right? But I know that I can. And I have to say that rolling with that for a few years, just a few years, doesn't take forever, just a few years. I saw a comment on online. It was like, I'm 22 years old and I haven't dated anyone yet, and I just feel like I'm getting too old and it's never gonna happen for me, and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, you're a baby. Do it. Just do stuff. Like, 10 years older than you, and I'm like chilling, you know? And I had a lot of the same experiences of like struggling. I mean, I had, but I'm lucky I had friends, early in life and all this stuff, but you can figure this stuff out. Everyone can. And like, just be your awkward self. And if you feel fake, be fake. Just roll with it. Just do it. Because eventually you'll figure it out. Um, but you're not going to learn if you don't do it, right? You're not going to experience as the best teacher. You have to try. That's sort of that's the catch 22, is if you're the type that feels like you have to plan everything in advance, and you have to get the plan perfect. And like if you have any missing elements, you better not do anything yet until you get those elements right. Like example, make sure you have enough money to do XYZ. Hate to break it to you, you're never gonna do it. There has to be an element of, okay, it's time to do it, I'm doing it. You have to be willing to take some risks because the world is so competitive. If you don't have some willingness to take a risk and just try, someone else will step in front of you and do it because there's always a risk. And that's really hard to, you know, tell someone, especially who might have trauma or something. But the stuff on this device is, is there's nothing to it. It's boring. It's pointless. It doesn't, you're gonna regret if you spend your whole life on this device. Now, the thing about that is the caveat, right? One, you can learn using this device. You can store information using this device. You can use it as a tool to communicate, to facilitate living your life. Look things up, talk to people, and develop relationships so that you can then go and make a plan and spend time with them in real life. Get them to come to you, or get yourself to go to them. Whatever. Help them. Um, help them also on this journey of self-realization, whatever it is. But living your life inside of this, or that's most of your life, in here and in your head. No. You have to go out there. Out there. Out there into that void. Right? And you have to live. Like, it's a complete waste not to. And it's so common now. This, I don't think it's just a physical or chemical imbalance. I think it is cultural. People are afraid to go out and live because they've been taught that they should be afraid of life. And they've been taught that they have to get the plan perfect. You don't have to get the plan perfect. I'm in a place I never imagined I could be. Um, Physically, like I'm in a location I didn't think was possible for me. The house I'm staying in right now, um, which I'm not going to be staying here very long, but that's beside the point, is worth more than I ever thought I would make in my lifetime. And just this experience has been like so eye-opening that I'm like, I wonder if at some point I could afford a house like this, to like buy it with cash, right? And just maybe a year ago, I was like, I don't think I'm going to make this amount of money in my lifetime. So you can do it. For the most part, there's very few people out there that can't. And also, a nice thing to remember is it's pretty hard to screw up so bad that you can't recover. That's another lesson I've learned through my experiences. It's like, for the most part, it's resilience. And you get resilience also through experience, through teaching yourself, hey man, I'm pretty good at getting up from being knocked down. And I think most people are. I don't think it's like I'm special in that regard. I'm not. I'm just trying to pass on this like encouragement, right? That uh, you can get totally wrecked. I'm at the point, used to be I'd get wrecked and it would take me like a year to get back up. Now I get wrecked and it's like a week or a day. Sometimes it's a few hours. Actually, I would say at this point it's a maybe even a few down to a few minutes at times, but I'd say a few hours usually. I'll have the down, and I'm like, ugh, like I'm so screwed. What have I done? Life is awful. I can't do this. I'm way out of my element. I'm beyond my capabilities. I sort of panic and go into, fight or flight, worst case scenario mode. And then I'm like, wait. And I don't immediately come out of the negative. It's just like, maybe I could try this. Oh, maybe I could try that. Well, I guess that's an option. And just pry the door back open and be like, I got all these options. And also, like, I'm capable. You know what? I'm going to try again. And I get back up. You got to learn how to talk to yourself about your life, how to talk to yourself about motivation and what you really want, who you really want to be. Um, you know, Go try asking that girl out. Go try to get that job or start that business or just do that, whatever it is. And don't worry about stuff being perfect. Oh, my house is a complete wreck. You know how many people's house is a complete wreck and nobody cares? Like, now there are people that care. I am the type, I like to have cleanliness. Like, look at my, look at my big gross pile over there, right? That's what I'm dealing with right now. I like my stuff to be organized, and that's my life right now. It's like all on the floor over there. Everything, most of the things I own are just piled up on the floor over there. Not organized, because I don't have a way to organize it. Honestly, I'm too busy living my life right now to get organized. It doesn't matter. Like, it's gonna be over there because I get up in the morning. I got stuff I want to do. So why would I spend? Like, occasionally I spend some time organizing, but like I'm gonna pack my bags and leave here at some point, and so why like be all organized and perfect? You don't have to do that all the time. You don't. Your life doesn't have to be clenched up in that all the time. Um, it doesn't have to be perfectly clean. This place that I'm in is a grubby place. It's a expensive, grubby place with lots of rich people in it. But you get filthy here. You get covered in dirt and grime and sweat, and you just get to a point where you're like, I don't need to be clean. Lessons, man. These are lessons. Like, nothing is permanent. You don't have to be perfectly clean. Sometimes you just gotta give in. You just gotta let reality just and just take over. And it's so important because if you don't do that, these social media apps, they'll just own you. I mean, there's addiction scientists that work on this stuff. It's like a casino. It just bright flashing lights. It's what it is. It hijacks your emotions, and it's designed to keep your attention because they want your attention. Once they have your attention locked in, they can advertise stuff to you, and they can also brainwash you into being more reactive and not being in the moment. And there's a bunch of things that are this way, right? Like, I have a hard time because I really want people to have social freedom because I think everyone's at the moment they're in for a reason. So, like, I say this, like, okay, pornography as an example, right? It takes you out of the moment, it detaches you from your body. You're just basically like pressing a button to, like, especially if you like masturbate while watching pornography. I'm just using this as an example. There's so many things in our lives like this. Just the like button on Facebook. I mean, and like trying to get attention on social media is the same thing, same exact thing, but like jerking off to pornography. Great example of like you're just basically pulling the lever for dopamine, right? That's all you're doing. And that's totally different from like fantasizing and like being in your mind, having all this stuff going on. It's like firing up all kinds of different parts of your brain and like also, going out and just maybe asking the girl out. Try, just give it a shot. And if she rejects you, go home and recover or whatever, but try because um yeah, worst case scenario is that the world or the person says no and you try again tomorrow with someone else, something else. That's the thing, is it you can just keep trying different things. Like, most of the time it's not the end of the world and you're not going to go to jail and no one cares. You're just going to have an awkward moment and then you're going to walk away. And you don't ever have to have that interaction again. And here's another thing. With those awkward moments, guess what? Everybody tries to forget about those as best they can. So you have that awkward moment, you feel like a creep, you feel awful, you feel like a bad person. Walk away. Tomorrow, if you see that person, they're gonna try to pretend like it never happened. You probably won't ever see that person again, most likely, in most cases. So, anyway, yeah, just go give it a shot. Try to live, because we only know of one of these lifetimes, and life is so much more flexible and wiggly, and you don't get access to like synchronicities until you put yourself out there. So just go out there and live, man, because you got to. the only choice you have. You're gonna waste your life on this thing, just pressing dopamine buttons, just cheap dopamine. Nah, man. Fulfillment, dude. Like, be a broad, complex person, because and like feel your emotions, and like, you know what? If you're not happy in your relationship, like, break up or like fix it. But don't just like sit there and mope and complain and be sad and miserable. Oh, my life sucks. I'm not really that happy with my boyfriend. Oh, I resent my boyfriend and my girlfriend. We're not compatible. Everything's terrible. Everything's hard. Well, like, okay, you can come. I personally am not anti-complaining either. My thing is, at some point, you got to just be like, okay, it's time to do something about this. I have the power. I can control this. I got into this whatever situation, I can get out. Like if it's your family and your family's abusive. I can tell you several times in my life, I'm finally like, I think I'm over it finally. I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna like be involved with my family anymore too much. Just the ones that I'm actually like happy to be around. The very few small number of people that I'm in my family I'm happy to be around. But like, if you're not happy with your family, just leave. Even if that means homelessness. I hate that that is the reality for so many people, but like, you know what? Homelessness might actually be better for you in some cases. If you're driven, if you've got the drive, but you're spending all your energy just coping with your family, do your best to prepare yourself, but don't spend too much time on it. Because the thing is, you might find that, you know, like what I found, this is a little anecdote from my life. I was not happy in my home life. It was not doing good things for me. So I left one day, I took off, and I went up to the desert. And I sat in the desert in my car with my hotspot. I have a real crappy work from home job. It's like my backup way to make money. And I went and I traded time for money. I just sat in my car and did that work. And I did like a complete day's work. And I did not feel that drained from very boring work that I hate, because I didn't have to do it in my family environment where I was in fight or flight mode all the time, where I was miserable. And so, you know, there's a part of me that was like, I'm going to prepare really well and I'm going to do all this stuff and then I'm going to leave. But after that day, it was like, no, I have to leave tomorrow. Like, I have to pack my stuff and leave tomorrow. And I might have to leave stuff behind. I might have to just give up on certain things. And I got lucky. I like, it was like a soft leaving. Now I'm, you know, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 miles away. I couldn't be happier. And it's not that long. It's like a month later. I'm like 4,000 miles away. And you know what? It's so worth it. No regrets. So it was stressful. It was hard. I took the risk. 100% worth it. Sometimes you gotta like invest in yourself. You gotta take out a loan just to invest in yourself, or you gotta spend every penny you've got. You gotta loan yourself some money and go do something. Do what you want to do and see how it works. Because a lot of the time, you know what you want deep down. You want that girl, you want that life, you want to live in that place, you want that business or that job. So just like go get it, man. Go do it. Because it's only you that can do it. You know? And like, woman or man, like, if it's a person, tell them you like them. Tell them you love them. Tell me you want to, you know? Just, ugh. Because, like, worst case scenario, they reject you. And then you go through the rejection. And then you can apply that energy to someone else or to yourself. Done. Like, let that happen. Let it happen. Instead of, oh, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose the opportunity. Don't want to admit it. I have to wait for the right time. I have to get it right. Fuck all that. Just go do it. Because you need to let it happen. You need to let it sync up. You need to let life synchronize you with what's aligned with you. Take the risks. Change things. Try to resolve that conflict with your partner. Oh, they don't want to resolve it. Dump their ass. Move on. Oh, they want to like take a bunch of time before you can move or whatever, get things perfect. No, get out of there. I mean, it's different if like you have kids or whatever, but I'm not talking to people who have kids. I'm talking to people who are like stuck at like step 1 to 10 of life. Well, like steps 1 through 3, let's say, of life. Those people, which are people I know and love and in love with for some weird reason, some of them. You gotta just go and do what you want to do, whether that's a person, a lifestyle, a whole package. Try it, man. Just give it a shot. Ask for it. Go ask for it. And like, if it's not given to you without you having to put any effort in, put a little effort in. But don't just like hope that it'll come to you. God, women flirting is a perfect example of this. Like, oh, I looked at him, like I looked him in the eyes for 2 seconds. That he should know that I like him, and if he likes me, he should come over and like initiate and do all this stuff. It's like, no, like he's just as like intimidated as you are, if not more, because he's got all these like standards placed on him that like if he says anything, he's a creep and he's a bad guy and like he should go to jail or something. Like, no, y'all, everybody, all of us, we need to push through all that crap and like try. And maybe you're not on the same like wavelength of like trying, and then that moment where you walk over as a woman or as a man, as another person, and you say, hey, you're hot as hell, I want to take you out. Like, that might like break that person out of their shell permanently. Or you say, oh, I'm gonna go do this. That might break you out of your shell permanently. You might be a completely new person after that. So you gotta do it. You can't escape it. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.